The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top-quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
So yeah, these gerrymandering wars. So Texas is a done deal. Like they are officially, their map has been redrawn until someone goes to the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah, or until the next census.
So is it a must redrawing after a census?
Yeah, because I mean that's when you get the new numbers.
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Where people live, population densities, how many people are there, blah blah blah.
And I think it's in most state constitutions is like
that's what I was asking. It has to be done.
Yeah, because I mean, there might be some states like say Nebraska or Wyoming that your demographics don't really change all that much.
Oklahoma. No, I guess people come in and out of Oklahoma. There's military bases there. It's colleges.
So it's you can have. But in the end, it's one of those of where you're.
So how fast do you think they can get it to the Supreme Court? Because Louisiana's took forever. It's got to be before midterms, though, right?
Yeah. So I mean, they still have a year. So.
But no major elections until this time next year. Or,
And that's it. I mean, like the main thing is the way it usually goes is like at least needs to get to the appellate stage,
which would be in Texas, though, right?
That is a good question.
Because isn't Paxton the AG there? He's a terrible human being.
No, I mean it goes through the federal. So Texas, I think, is in our jurisdiction.
Yes, in fucking deed.
So
right across the street from me.
Right, the federal district court is here. The appellate, I'd have to look that one up. It might be here, or that might be the one that's in, like, Austin.
That's the one I was thinking about.
So, I mean, obviously, if you have conflicting judgments, it makes it easier to bump it up to the Supreme Court. But what you would love is...
So the people who are going to sue them for this, right?
Right.
Are going to want to fast-track it. But Texas could be like, nah, pump the brakes. We're going to put it through all of the courts. To slow-walk it, right? Theoretically, that could happen?
Well, I think you could... What you would want to see is we get a victory in the lower court, and then they figure out some way to appeal it, and then the appellate court upholds the lower court's decision. And then that way, even if they appeal it there, by the time it gets to the Supreme Court, they're like, nah. Like,
right, it's been through six checks.
Yeah. Like, right. So it's good. Like, uphold the appellate. We're not going to hear it.
But in recent memory, I don't even know if they've allowed. Did they allow North Carolina, one of the Carolinas?
No.
Right, they keep kicking this back. Louisiana, it happened to recently.
Well, I mean a couple of the states, the Supreme Court sent it back saying redraw it and then resubmit. Versus, but I think in most cases, they haven't. The Supreme Court's never ruled on these gerrymandering because the district and the appellate courts are like, no.
Right. It doesn't make any fucking sense. What are you talking about?
So they can't. It's not worth their time because there's no debate there. Like 2 levels of federal judges of all different backgrounds have said, like, no.
Whether they're activist judges, which is fucking. I can't believe that's such a buzzword.
Well, it's only an activist judge if it's one appointed by a Democrat.
Correct. Not the judge who threw out Trump's $100 million judgment.
Yeah. Or not the judges that killed a federal protection for women's bodies. Oh yeah. That's not being an activist judge. That's just doing the normal thing. Yeah.
Hey man. They did it.
Right.
Mission accomplished. Motherfuckers. Okay, all right. Now we're going to get, since we're talking gerrymandering, we'll just continue this conversation. All right, so Texas has done it, and they pick up 5 seats. I still don't understand how the map is. I think I saw one today, but I don't know if it was real because it was literally red, and then like the 5 tiny blue: Dallas, Houston,
San
Austin,
Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like tiny fucking dot, like the city limits.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then everything, because like here in New Orleans, you could do the same thing. Because once you get past, I don't know, Clearview, then it becomes Republican out there.
Right, but they've even, like I said, like the last map, where you're sitting right now,
Yeah, it was probably.
we're in Steve Scalise's district. Make that make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm a half-hour walk from the French Quarter.
Correct.
How am I in a guy who gets like cut off
Yeah.
and the toe, he covers like Pearl River, and yet
Does he have the West Bank?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So he's got all of Orleans
yeah, it's
Parish.
like everything around.
Yeah, that's
New
what I
Orleans.
meant.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's got Jeff Parrish and
Because once you get out, a mile on the other side of the river,
Yeah.
away from the river, ooh, boy. That is some Trump country out there. Thank God they're on the outside of the levee protection system.
yeah,
Sorry. Not sorry.
by choice.
Yep. So fuck you and your generator and your lifted truck. But, okay, so, I mean, yeah, where people are freaking out about it. Yes, I am definitely freaking out about it. 5 seats is a lot of fucking seats when it's pretty much 50-50 at this point,
Yeah,
right? What do they got, 2 more? Or is it 3 right now?
I thought it was like 5 or 6.
Maybe I'm thinking they can only lose 2 or 3.
Could be. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 5 is a huge deal. Like you're talking 2 or 3 people who, okay, you could maybe sway.
But
when
that's what, and to lead in what we're talking about. I mean, like that's where California itself can negate all of those.
well, that was going to be my follow-up question.
And then
which
if
is,
you get
they can turn 5 seats.
oh, easy.
Okay. That's what I figured.
I mean, you got to think the
The only thing I worry about is because once you get way out in the desert there, it gets a little Cash Patel eyes out there. It's like the hills have eyes.
Yeah,
and
but
people are all
you just
little-
make that like one giant district, right? Like
Just go hear all
right,
of this crazy
you go
shit out
yeah,
here.
everything out of a metropolitan area. Okay, well that's like 2 districts.
Right.
And
Because there's
then-
only like 13 people living out there anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like California could if again they
They
do
could
what
just
Texas
draw
like
a blue strip
Yeah.
right down the coast.
exactly, and then you make everything east of the mountains
Right.
like okay, like that's maybe 5 districts.
With again,
Yeah, it's
less
like-
than 50,000.
Maybe with like a couple of red dots, like like Orange County, or like Brentwood
But-
in LA is like has its one rep or whatever,
Whatever. Gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Even if there is one rep, I doubt they're getting elected.
No, I mean, well, again,
Maybe.
like they have like the big Republican strongholds are like the areas that cover what is it like Redmond, California, like
I don't know. Right.
like Northern California, where it gets close to the rural parts of Oregon,
Right. The militia-y
Right.
areas up
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And then the desert.
and then I mean all you have to do is if you say we're just going to do it by population distribution, like that's a much easier because then it's like okay, well hell, like if we say this is the minimum for a district, well San Francisco's 3 districts, LA's 10 districts, San Diego's 4 districts.
There you go. Look at all those seats.
Yeah.
And you're not fucking with the Senate, is the thing, right? None
No,
of this fucks
yeah,
with the
no.
Senate. It's just all the House. Which,
And if California can't do it and Trump wants to keep pushing it, then you could do a similar thing in Illinois.
yeah, that was the other one I was thinking. You
New
can't
York
really
as
do
well.
it. Well, New York. I mean, I guess you're right. The population for the rest of the state, you could put a blue thing around Buffalo, and then
Albany, yeah.
down here, and then the rest of it's just It might as well be West Virginia up there.
Yeah, but
In the
again, you
mountains.
just you take it down. You just change the population requirements, and like,
God, that's all it takes. Right. That's all it takes.
but again, I mean, yeah, you could, or you lower the population requirement, and then like New York City goes from, what does it have, like 5, 6 representatives?
I thought it was more than that. It's not double digits, though.
Yeah, but you could make it double digits, like,
Yeah, you can make California.
right.
Yeah, L.A. could be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 10, 15.
Right.
If you drew it right, you know.
Are there rules to the? Clearly, there's not rules, but population density is one of the rules, right?
I mean, the general idea is, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be, yeah, I mean, that's why they got such weird shapes, is so, you know, it's supposed to have, like, you know, at
It's
least.
supposed to balance each other out, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. But
You know, so yeah, you might have a small, when you see like a small district versus a large district, the idea is that you have comparable population numbers
right.
in there. But that's the thing, is that that's what Republicans have been doing for a long, long time, which is they figure out like, oh, well, this area usually votes for us, this area votes for us, so let's figure out how to encompass those.
Right.
Instead of leaving them isolated, or
No, let's connect the dots.
or we take a bunch of dead area
right.
and then
Which is why
add
when you
that
look,
to the edge of the dead
when
area.
you look at the United States map and it's like all this red. Well, it's like, yeah, but
there's nothing there.
right. Like there's nothing. Like, okay, great. Oklahoma is all red.
But I mean,
There's nothing there.
that's why like Louisiana is always a great just example of this, in that they just keep trying to lock in the major areas that have African Americans
Right.
into one district
Right.
and think that that's going to cover it, when you're going like, well, that's way too dense.
Well, basically, it's Baton Rouge down the interstate and then New Orleans.
Right. And when they did the redrawing, they added Shreveport into it
How the fuck did they?
and kept that corridor going.
Oh, I
And
see.
then
The
you're
one on the
going-
other side where
yeah.
Mike Johnson.
But then you're going like, well, that's way out of balance.
It's literally an L, and it follows the blue in the state. That's terrible.
Yeah, like it's a slash through it,
Right.
like, don't come here.
Fucking idiots.
But then you're going like, well, how does that balance like Mike Johnson's district? Like
It doesn't.
the population
People don't
number in
understand.
that stretch is bananas.
People don't. Gerrymandering needs to go away.
Well, I mean, that's why California has to pass a law in order to do it, because they've been doing independent auditors for like the last decade or 2 decades.
Well, they have to, because their population influx changes on a year-over-year basis.
Yeah, so that is until all the wildfires. But, you know,
Well, you know,
We'll
hey,
see.
you know what? That's Gavin Newsom's fault because he didn't turn on the faucet from the Pacific.
but I mean,
Northwest.
frankly, that should be a federal law, is that
Right,
you...
that's I guess
every
that's
state,
the point I'm making.
every state can redraw their districts, but it has to be done by an independent agency that has
there
no
such a
political
thing anymore?
Well, I mean, but that's why you set up. And I know GOP hates this, regulations.
Over-regulations. Real quick. So, we're now socialist because the United States government owns 10% of Intel? So we're officially a socialist country now? Is that how this is going to work?
I mean, there's probably some people that think that. Yeah.
Perfect.
But
Because that's
I mean-
small government there.
theoretically, I mean, that wouldn't be, well, 10% isn't. But even if they own the whole thing, that wouldn't be socialist. That would be communist.
Even though they're giving out the Intel IP to everybody, or would they still be charging for that?
Well, I mean, if it's the government, which is, we tell ourselves it's a government of the people, control the means of production, then that's...
Oh yeah, then that
That's communist.
That's communist. They're not giving
But-
a service to the United States. The people.
The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, Produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.